He's not reasonable. Yeah, I really like hearing the people not falling for his shit. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of having a frog in my throat. It. I'm sick of having a frog in my throat. I'm not coughing anymore, but I still have this frog in my throat. Oh wow, did we achieve a gift goal already? Sweet. Okay, I'm just heading to the dog park, so I'm gonna rant while I head there. Things. He's blocked me, but oh good. Okay, let me tell you the story. Let me tell you a little story about how my life got twisted upside down. No, okay. So reasonable T girl started. I hate calling him a girl, by the way. Let's just start with that. Calling yourself a girl when you're a girl, by the way. Let's just start with that. Calling yourself a girl when you're a grown ass man is fucking creepy. So we'll start there. You're not a girl. You're not a girl. You're not a fucking girl, sir. You're a man. You're a male. You're not just a grown fucking person. You're also a male grown fucking person. So stop calling yourself a girl because that's just part of the manipulation too. Is like we're calling this grown man reasonable T girl in order to identify him. So I'm going to stop doing that. Just call him reasonable, I guess, which is another manipulation because he's not reasonable. Anyway, okay, so he started showing up and just being very, very suck up, like a very big suck up, just coming over. He directly, like, immediately identified me as somebody to get alongside. So he'd invite me to his lives and he gave me priority and he made me mod. There was all sorts of like, because there's certain people I'll go on their panels and their TRAs, and I'll debate there. And oftentimes they'll even give me priority, maybe because they want the views, maybe because they're sucking up. I don't know. I'll debate wherever there's a debate. So that's kind of my attitude. And then he just kind of like, when things started to shift, and I think he also realized just by having me up a lot, like that he's not ever going to be able to get his hooks into me. Like I'm never going to prioritize him or let him groom or normalize or manipulate or twist or any of the things. Like he's not getting much from me. And when the whole Andy thing happened and Andy started being a psycho, he really started like, I guess, coddling Andy. And then there was the time when I don't remember what, I wish my memory was better. I think I'm getting older, but yeah, there was a panel where Andy was up there and everyone was up there and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to be letting Martha up, even though they were sitting there slandering the shit out of me. And they've got like other GCs up there. And so it's like creating this like scenario where like he's holding GCs who are my friends close while shanking me and allowing me to be shanked, and they're kind of putting up with it because they're being made included into the conversation in his world. And like it's just like it's so hard to explain his manipulations, but he's like, this new saying that's going on around TikTok, the playing in your face thing. Like that's what him and all his like little fucking manipulators do, like the Tris person and Luca and all them. Like they literally just like shank you and play in your face while dripping with sweetness and being like, I love you, girl. Oh yeah, and you're my friend, and oh my god, I care so much about you. And like he'll do things like, take care of yourself, girl, and oh, I care, while literally like like normalizing things like he'll while literally like normalizing things like he's like he uses female spaces, but only when he has to, right? Like he just has to use female spaces sometimes, right? Like look, it's like you're not a rapist most of the time, right? But sometimes you just have to, right? Dude, it only counts if you don't do it all the time. Okay? It only counts. You're only like, a reasonable if you're not using female spaces ever. And then he's normalizing things like drag queen groomer hour for kids and drag in general. And just doing like honestly, I think these type of men are like the orchestrators of all this harm. Like I wouldn't even be surprised if he was involved in like doxing beans and things behind the scenes or whatever, like Miss Triss and all them. They just lie anyway. Like they lie to your face, they manipulate. And women just fucking fall for it. Like women are just constantly falling for it. And even when I'm like, everyone's gathered together and they're like, yeah, we're not falling for it. The next fucking day they're hanging out with these fucking people. Like, I swear to God, I don't know what it takes. Like, I swear to God, what does it fucking take? Like, it just doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how snaky they are and how manipulative they are and how they're like, hold you close, shank your fucking friends, or shank people who are like strong voices on this fucking topic. But as long as you feel special enough or what to like be in part of their conversation because they've created a platform, it's like, no, stop letting these snakes fucking manipulate you. I swear to God. Like he's literally like a predator. And oh, not to mention the other day when he was like trying to shame GCs for using the word predator for these fucking men who don't regard our privacy boundaries. Like, are you goddamn kidding me right now? Like the manipulation is subtle with men like this. Like you have to understand he knows the game he's playing and he's playing it wisely and carefully and he's trying not to break character. Sometimes he breaks character, but not for long enough. Like he's not like Andy who just like melts down and like breaks character for large chunks of time, but then knows that, he can just weasel his way back in because women are just easy to manipulate and he knows that. No, reasonable doesn't break character, stays dripping sweetness while shanking. Like like completely is the con, the nonstop fucking con. Okay. And like, he recognized right away that I was a person that could stand in the way, I think, of a lot of his manipulation. And that's why he won't allow me on the panels that he's controlling, right? Like, so he just like very much so keeps my influence off but then allows other GCs who say the same things I do, but not in the ways that I do. And just aren't like, he can tell their boundaries aren't like, I fucking see through you, buddy, you know? And he just continues to like befriend and gain rapport and use tones and language that like really causes loyalty, like friendship loyalty type stuff, right? And like he knows what this does. Like I have a feeling, okay, I have a feeling that he knows that this causes us to not have a very effective resistance. Like that this sort of it allows for the grooming to happen, the normalization. Like, why are TERFs fighting men violating our boundaries and consent and, using terminology, as Amy Souza says, that this is predatory behavior, right? And then gaslighting and manipulating women in real time about like calling out the predatory behavior and being like, oh, you're watering down the term predator and oh, you're making the term predator not mean what it means. It this is a fucking man who literally uses female fucking spaces and does the predatory behavior. And then you guys are so fucking gullible that you're like not seeing that he's manipulating you into seeing it as non-predatory, or as if you use the language for what's happening for the predatory behavior, and then say, oh, that's just no, the slight chastisement. And then he has GCs saying that, yeah, that's just too much. It's just too much. Fucking Christ, TikTok. So many people can just have a backdrop and then TikTok doesn't mind. Okay, sorry, I haven't been reading the comments. Yeah, just the constant fucking manipulations and the constant, like, especially about the predatory thing. That really pissed me off. The keeping, like, the trying to get me close, and when that didn't work, like pushing my influence completely off anything that he's doing, and then having a bunch of GCs up there and grooming and normalizing his predatory behavior and his takes, and allowing people to shank the shit out of one of their warriors against this fucking ideology, myself, and having the GCs stand quiet while that fucking happens and not really understand the whole thing. Like, it's just, this guy's a fucking snake, dripping sweetness. Love, bye, love. Oh, says to Crystal, I love you, bye. Says to Never Bow, I messaged you, girl. Like, this fucking guy, I swear to God, you guys. Oh, you're not going to listen to me anyway, are you? You guys are just going to be like, yeah, totally. Anyway, I'm going to go hang out with Reasonable Tea Girl tomorrow. Oh, she keeps calling him a girl because of his fucking name. It's part of the manipulation too. His name is part of the manipulation. It's acclimatizing. It's normalizing. It's normalizing his influence. And through rapport, women, 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 manipulative men gain rapport with you. And then they normalize their bullshit. They allow you feelings of specialness, feelings of friendship, feelings of caring. They'll tell you sob stories. They'll get you connected because they know that's how women fucking work. Women are relational creatures. If you can gain rapport and gain relation with women, there's almost nothing stopping your manipulations at that point. And women will fucking be loyal and women will protect. I don't know fucking how many times. It's mighty frustrating, I'll tell you that much. Like, just, okay, guys, if a man doesn't see you as a human being to the degree that he doesn't regard female privacy boundaries, he doesn't want children to be safeguarded, to be safeguarded against predators who are looking to groom them sexually, like Drag Queen Groomer Hour. I got like live access, or not, live visibility restrictions. So if you guys could share and like and gift and share and like and gift and share and like all the gifts and share all the likes, that'd be great. And what the fuck was I just talking about? Oh yeah. So yeah, if men don't see you as human beings, sorry, cleaning up dog poop. If men don't see you as human beings and see you as a fucking aesthetic that they will wear on their male bodies, and they'll give you some cockamamie excuse of like, I just have to do this disgusting behavior because I have dysphoria about my sex. Like, I don't, like, who fucking cares? We're still human beings. So, strike one. Strike two, they do not listen or regard female privacy boundaries. And that includes the privacy boundaries of quite literally little girls. And then they try to groom you out of calling that behavior predatory. As they do it, shank, shank, shank. Don't forget about the shanking. Don't forget about the sweetness dripping, rapport gaining, relational, manipulating, shank, shank, shanking. So yeah, don't see you as human beings, wears you as a costume, gives you some fucking sob story as to why. Secondly, doesn't regard female boundaries and consent. And that includes the boundaries and consent of quite literally minor girls. Oh, yeah, calls himself a girl, a grown ass man, and tries to groom you out of calling that behavior predatory, and then have other GCs who are supposedly fighting this ideology also calling that out and saying that don't use that language. It waters down true predatory behavior. No, that is predatory behavior. Then he shanks one of your fucking warriors against this fucking cause and gets you to fucking normalize that by proxy. Like, this isn't even the end of it. Like, I was actually just scrolling by Kayla's live and I hear him say things like, I don't know Martha well enough, but I don't know if she'll dox. But instead of being like, Martha would never dox or anything, like, nope, the terminology, like he's a snake. Like he just knows how to just suggest things or say certain things or do certain things that cause certain consequences. I don't know how many times I have to say this and how much I have to raise the alarm. These men do not like us. They hate us. They think we are bad people, okay? They want us to be stopped. They want to stop our resistance. They want to water it down. They want to render it ineffective. They want to alter it, manipulate it, change it, control it, block it, obscure it, minimize it. And they actually manage to make you trans activists in the fucking process. Okay? They literally manage, like, I know women get defensive about how much I talk about how vulnerable women are, but you have to, like, it's not a matter of the fact that you're infantilized or that you are not smart or whatever. It doesn't matter how smart you are, okay? It doesn't matter how privileged you are or educated you are. If you are female, you have evolved survival instincts to stay alive. Female people capitulate to male people. Female people fall for their bullshit because of these instincts of survival towards male people. That's why they're more receptive, and also just the kind of creature we are. Like I said, the male is the plug, the female is the socket. But we hold all the juice and the electricity and the amplification, right? So and we are the ones who decide. So a male person will plug in, such as agendas or ideas or whatever, and we decide whether we amplify those or not, right? Even a baby, a male will plug in a seed, and first of all, the egg decides which seed. Well, this is something I've learned. The egg actually decides which seed to take in. It's not random. It's not like the first one that gets there. The egg actually opens itself up to a certain seed. It decides. From there, the women decide if they are going to gestate and birth that baby. They decide if they are going to do that. Okay? We've always had that power. I know it's a terrible, horrible power, and some women abuse it. You know my views. I'm absolutely not like pro, you know, not making that a big deal and the dehumanizing language of cluster of cells or whatever. But the metaphor I'm trying to bring to you here is that when men plug something in, we decide if we're going to amplify that or not. That's just the kind of creature that we are. We are the plug, they are the plug-in. We're two different types of things. And because we're the plug-in, and we've been taught to not discern or have boundaries, and especially because of survival, we were very cautious of what we allow to be plugged in. And that's something we need to shift. We need to be more discerning about that and not amplify and not give juice and electricity and not follow the direction of whatever it is that's plugged. We can put a little plastic thing in the socket and only open it up to what is worthy of that. So what this whole rant is trying to prove is that women are vulnerable because of what we are and because of our survival mechanisms that we have evolved to stay alive in a world where men can literally fucking kill us with their bare hands. Okay? So understand that you're vulnerable as a female person. Doesn't mean you're stupid. Like I've told you that story before. Like the woman whose boyfriend like attacked her with acid and melted her fucking face off. And she still went back to him because he made her feel special. He exploited the vulnerabilities that were inside of her subconscious, instinctual level. He manipulated that shit, and it didn't matter how much she knew he was a piece of shit and knew he burned her eyeball out of her socket and almost killed her and melted her literal face off. He could bypass that cognitive knowing, and he could move into that. He could manipulate that part that is vulnerable about women, right? So just recognize you have this vulnerability and don't fall for these men's fucking bullshit. Like they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They've done it 100 times on this app. I've seen them do it over and over again. These fucking men are playing in your face. They wear you as a costume. They don't see you as human beings. They bypass you and your daughter's fucking consent. You and your grandmother's fucking consent. And just waltz into spaces that are meant to give us privacy, dignity, and safety away from the male sex. And they feel entitled to do that because of what they've done to their appearance and because they feel like they are the center of the world because of their male privilege and power. Okay? They are grooming you to then say out of your own mouths that we are watering down the word predatory when we describe these men's predatory actions. Stop fucking falling for it. And then hanging out with a dude who calls himself a girl, is manipulating you, doesn't see you as a human being, doesn't regard your privacy boundaries or that of your daughter, your minor daughter, your disabled fucking friend, your pregnant friend, your grandmother who's feeble and weak, doesn't fucking regard their boundaries either, by the way, and fucking manipulates you to think that that's not predatory, and then normalizes things like grooming sexually children with drag queens, normalizes woman face and goes like, oh, defends fucking like literal caricatures of us for their entertainment, shanks me after it didn't work to manipulate me, and gets you to fucking stand by. What else? What am I missing? Am I missing more things this fucking degenerate little fuck has done? And like the thing that gets me is the dripping with sweetness the whole time as he does it. Just shank, 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 smile, drip, love, sweetie, take care of yourself. Oh, I shanked you 5 times. I really am concerned about that. Did you put on antiseptic ointment, love, honey? Oh, and guess what I did today? I have a kitty and I pet my kitty. And then I went and got fucked by like 5 men because I'm a degenerate person. But I have a husband, but it's fine because, we have no morals. But yeah, no, but I'm even normalizing that. I'm normalizing my lifestyle. I'm normalizing my degeneracy. I'm normalizing my predatory behavior. I'm normalizing grooming children. I'm normalizing playing right in your fucking face and fucking over your movement and fucking over your resistance. But I'm dripping with sweetness while I do it. And hey, I totally utilized your empathy and your relational nature. And, why am I over here and not with the TRAs? Well, because this is much more effective at rendering your resistance null and void. I don't know who Zico is. Zico, what's
Hi,
your age?
Martha.
Hey, what's your age?
I'm 28.
And what did you want to say?
I'm on your side, but I was just talking to Titan, and they've got a few people on their panel, and they want to debate you. And I think you should go to Titan's
I
panel.
want absolutely nothing to do with those psychos.
Go to Titan's
I
panel.
want absolutely nothing to do with those psychos. I have never debated Titan in my life. I've never spoken to him. I have absolutely no fucking desire to go anywhere near people who are that unhinged. Like people who
Yeah,
dox people, people who like try to ruin
well,
people's
he
actual
does.
lives. He he's doxed like beans. He's doxed like he told Envy he wanted to murder her with his car. I don't want to be
Okay, no,
near people.
he's a bitch for envy. He's a bitch for envy. It's fine, but
No, but he's just a
okay,
fucking psycho. I stay away from people who dox. I stay away from people who crash out and are psychotic, and who try to like who talk about like violence and hurting people and like I don't even want to give him the like any kind of
he
energy
doesn't
or
do that.
electricity of my life force. He can have
Titan's
zero of
okay.
it.
He has some guests, and they were saying apparently no. Okay, no, I'm a GC, but apparently they said
No, you're not. If you say Titan's okay, you don't even resemble a GC. You don't even resemble somebody who cares about women. Like, this is what I'm fucking talking about. So, Manimal, to catch you up, hold on, let me just put this back. Oh man, why is it doing that now? They changed all the shit. Layouts have a new home. Allow get what the fuck? I just want to know how to change the layout. Oh my god. I guess I can't because I don't know how. Um so yeah, basically his claims are that he uses female spaces when he has to. So whatever. That just means he doesn't regard female boundaries and consent. He's pro drag queen groomer hour, grooming the kids. He's made a bunch of claims about me and how I'm just like too problematic to have on his panel, but he'll have the other GCs on who have the same views as me, but he's trying to keep me away from them. So I stop like discouraging, I guess, his grooming of the women who are trying to have a resistance against what he's fucking doing. He's a snaky little manipulator. He's constantly trying to gain rapport and sidle up and manipulate. He'll just drop little things here and there. He also did a whole live on claiming that women calling his behavior and men like him's behavior predatory is watering down the word predatory and is abusing that word or making that word not mean anything substantial. So, of course, shaming and manipulating women into not seeing their boundary violations as predatory. He's a fucking manipulator, groomer, and he's always dripping with sweetness as he like shanks. And I think he's got a lot to do with like what's been going on with the doxing and the lists. And these are all people who hang out. It's always like Red Rose and him and Miss Triss and all these fucking TRA men who don't even see us as human beings. And of course, he's hooked women into feeling sorry for him and tolerating his grooming presence by giving a sob story that he just has to wear women as a costume because he just it's this whatever his story is like he just really had to do it. He has to be a misogynist. He can't help it. He has to dehumanize and objectify women for his health. It's just and women, of course, he's just sucked them in with a lot of like personal stories, personal information, gaining rapport, being so friendly, like so disarming. And of course, when we're trying to have a resistance, disarming the resistance is very much so a strategy. So that's the kinds of things I'm talking about. Zico, what the fuck do you want?
My gosh.
What do you want, dude? What do you
what?
want?
Okay, so what's wrong? Why are you
What do
against
you mean?
debating
What do you mean?
Titan?
Because he's a fucking psycho. Why are you trying to convince me to go and give my life force energy to psychotic men who wish for harm against women? What do you
Is
want?
that not your mission? Is that not your mission
It's
to
my
fight?
mission. Yeah, but it's my mission to not put myself in harm's way or have my life force energy drained by literal fucking psychos. There's some people who, there's like conversations that can be had, and then those conversations can demonstrate to the audience. But I'm not here to like give my, like, the more energy I give him, the more he's going to target and attack me. I don't want anything to do with him. So stop trying to fucking convince me to go and hang out with a fucking psycho for your amusement, by the way. I can tell you just want to see the drama of it. Fuck off. I am so done. Oh, he doesn't dox anybody. Yet he's the one who's calling for our doxing. Okay, whatever. Should I just block people who say that? Yeah, I'm just going to block you. Anybody who's going to sit and try to like convince me that Titan's a good guy. Like, and this is the thing about Mistress yesterday and all these men, they'll shank you. They'll fuck you over. They'll fuck your friends over. You know, Shrimp claims to care so much about beans, but then continues to fucking panel and talk to these fucking men who literally caused beans to get fucking doxxed. And they just feed her a line of bullshit and they're like, okay, eventually he's back and hanging out, no probsy. Fuck that guy. They shank me. It's like, oh, but they gave you a reason. They gave you a reason. And so I guess we'll just continue to fucking let them groom us and render our resistance fucking futile. Great idea. Like, I mean, look, I know it sounds like I'm coming after women. I understand that women are vulnerable. I understand that women are being manipulated. I'm frustrated that women will continue to allow themselves to be manipulated. I'm frustrated, but I still have women's back. All the women who are being manipulated right now, I continue to have your back forever. I'm frustrated because I need you. I need you guys to not be rendered useless. I need you to not become their pawn to spread this ideology. I need your voice. I need your power. I need your no. But you're not saying no. You're saying yes. Every time you hang with these fuckers who play right in your face and go, hey guys, I'm getting you doxxed, I'm getting you harassed, I'm getting you hurt, I'm violating your boundaries, I'm wearing you as a costume, I'm doing all these things. And then you give them basically permission by continuing to have anything to fucking do with them and continuing to let them shank your friends and shank the warriors who are trying to stop this disgusting ideology from hurting more women and children. Like, stop falling for this fucking dude. Hey, Flo, what do you know? Oh, you're not loading in.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I was going to ask, do you have Discord? Because I've clipped what you asked me to clip and I can't send it on TikTok. It's too big.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Oh, you might have trouble on Discord too if you don't have like Turbo or something it's called.
I've got Nitro.
Nitro, that's what it's called. Okay.
I've got it.
Like whatever it's called. Yeah, okay. I'll send it to you when I'm done here. I'll just give you a quick message with my Discord. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's fine.
Aren't you in my Discord? I thought you were.
I was, but I've had some drama with some GCs, so I've left them all because I'm not dealing with it. So I've just left all my Discord. I've got my own now. I've made my own, but I don't. Did you saw the thing I posted about the 15-year-old being? Yeah, loads of people in Envy server were calling me a pred, saying that it was me on the account, that I was lying. And I was like, you sit here and say you want to protect kids from this ideology, and when I ask you to do that, you come at me and try and slander me and be like horrible to me. So I just left it all, and That's it. I'm not
Well,
dealing
I
with it
hope you
anymore.
don't think I feel that way. I was really happy to have you in the Discord. So if you want to come back, you're totally welcome. And if anyone said anything like that to you in my Discord, they'd be booted in 2 fucking seconds. So.
Oh, bless you. No one in your server did. It just made me realize that there are some like turfs or GCs out there that are not in it to protect kids. They're in it for whatever other reason they have. So
Okay, well,
I,
I'll definitely send you my own Discord again, like just my name, and you can message me. But I'll also send you an invite to my Discord once I do that, and then you can decide whether you want to join or not. It's totally up to you.
yeah, that's completely fine. I probably won't send it till tomorrow because it's midnight for me now, so I'll
Oh
be
yeah,
going to
no
bed.
worries, no worries
All
at
right,
all.
lovely. Bye, darling.
All right, bye.
Bye, lovely. Bye.
Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Hey, shrimpins.
May I ask why this is being like carried out on a live?
Oh, yeah, because it's exactly where I want to carry it out. It's because this fucking snake is nonstop manipulating women to in a lot of ways. And I want to raise as much awareness to that as possible. I want to stop this fucker and fuckers like him from continuing to get in the way of women's resistance to this ideology, continuing to manipulate, continuing to shank and fucking subtly control and all of this. This is very. I don't want this to be private at all.
No, I mean like I about Jamie, sure, but I don't know why I'm being brought up.
Well, because you're one of the people he's manipulating.
Well, I just seems like that part, I guess, maybe could have been, I don't know,
Well,
like a
there's a
message.
no. I think it's pretty obvious to everyone the number of women who he's constantly working, and it's not like any kind of diss. Like, and I am frustrated, but it's not like, oh, I'm dissing you now because of that. It's just it's like being like, hey, these people are being exploited. I'm fucking sick of it. It's nothing to do with you're a bad person or you're this or you're that. It's just pointing it out. It's not
Well,
like starting
I guess
drama with you.
I was responding to what claims. I mean, because yesterday I spent quite a bit of. I think I screamed more than anybody about beans and absolutely
And then you just go
went
hang out with the
ballistic on them.
shankers again. Then you just go, hey,
What do you
shankers,
mean?
let's hang. You're still
How am
hanging
I
with
shanking?
T Girl. You're still hanging with Triss. You're still hanging with Red Rose. You're still hanging with all the men who
I was
literally
in Kayla's
shanked your
live and they
friend.
just came up. They just came up.
Dude, whatever. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire. Don't worry about it.
I know, but like
Like,
I'm
I'm not
not.
going to argue and try to like be like, look, this is what you're doing. It's like, I'm just going to like tell people how I feel about these little snaky weasels. And yeah, you don't know how much they had to do with hurting your friend. You don't know how much they're doing now. The fact that like they've managed to do as much as they've managed to do, and they still have the fucking grace of your presence in their life and allowing their influence and their syrupy, poisonous words to enter your fucking consciousness and have be able to fucking poisonous words to enter your fucking consciousness and have be able to fucking manipulate you 1 minute further. It's fucking, it makes me really mad. And not mad at you, but mad at them and mad at the fact that women's vulnerabilities are constantly being exploited by these fucking men. And they're over here to do that. That's why they're here. They're not here to be friends with you. They don't care about you. His sweet fucking words and all of his like relational rapport that he's working so hard on you and constantly working you. He doesn't love you. He doesn't like you. He
Oh, I know
fucking hates
that.
you. Like,
Well,
and
I don't know about hate, but I don't think
oh,
that at
like
the very least probably
covetous,
apathetic.
jealous
Probably
hatred. Covetous, jealous hatred, because you are what he wishes he could be, or what he wants to to have. Not even wishes to be, because I don't even think like he wishes he was female. I think he wants to take it, to conquer it, to have it. And the fact that you have it, you're the enemy. You're the one he wants to take it from. You're the one he wants to punish for having it. These men are sick. The reason they wear us as a costume, the reason they don't regard our fucking boundaries around our bodies. He had you in a live talking about how the word predatory is just too strong for his disgusting behavior and their disgusting behavior.
Wait, we had a discussion about it on my live because I wanted to hear from people who use the term, why they use the term. And then we had a discussion where they expressed, right, that they feel when they hear that word, predator.
Yeah, I don't even know why you're entertaining it.
Well,
honestly.
because I want to understand whether or not that truly is the kind of thing
what he
that we should
exploits.
say or not.
That's what they exploit. They exploit your wanting to understand.
Why I
You're
can't
wanting
just be
to. You're wanting to hear
curious?
them out. Well, your curiosity kills the cat. Your curiosity allows him to worm his little manipulative ass in there. And then, you know how many people message me mad that you fucking were on his basically side about that and saying, yeah, it's too harsh of a word. It's too harsh of a word to be calling it predatory.
That's not even what I said at the end. That's not even what I said at the end.
Look, I didn't participate in the live, but I definitely saw that this live was going on and that this manipulation was happening, and that people then messaged me saying, "Well, that's it. I'm done with Shrimp. She's just, saying it's predatory, but these fucking actions are predatory."
They should come to me and talk to me about it. That's pretty sad. They can't come to me and talk to me about it. They have to go elsewhere. They can't come to me and say, "Hey, look, I have a problem." That's funny because that wasn't the conclusion I came to. The conclusion I came to was actually that it is in fact the word. I was the person that actually posed the hypothetical of, well, if a man repeatedly came into a school, and I can repeat this back perfectly. If a man came to a school and just sat in a cafeteria every single day, I asked Red Rose this. I said, just sat in the cafeteria every single day. They didn't do anything, or we don't know what they're doing. And let's say we even asked them, like, why are you here? And they gave an answer that sounded like maybe it could be true, but maybe not. Not quite sure. I said, would you off the rip call that man a predator if he sat there every day at the school? And they both said yes. And I said, point made. So I don't know how people came to the conclusion. I don't know if they're just slow. I'm not going
to get into the minutia of the whole thing. I saw what I saw. I heard what I heard from other people. The effect is that we're putting into question whether these men's actions are predatory, and people are feeling chastised about calling these men's actions predatory. I'm just going to drop you for a second. Well, I'm going to do one at a time, people, because when it gets too many people, like, because Beans is asking to come up, and then this person's up here and you're up here. So you can totally come back, but like just maybe one or two people at a time. So reasonable manipulator, what did you want to say?
Look, Martha, I'm going to hit one or 2 points. The reason I don't bring you up on my panel is not because I don't want to hear your side. It is strictly because I have been asked by people that come up on my panel repeatedly that they cannot debate when you are on. I try to respect everyone's preferences in my space. Okay?
Right, yeah. And I know, you're just so nice. You're so nice. That's why. Look, you can't have me on because you're just too nice.
No,
I know how it is.
Listen, I would have you on if people repeatedly didn't say I cannot debate if she's on because
people like Andy. Yeah, people like Andy. Oh, okay, who else?
I used to have you up. I used to not have a problem with it.
I know, you used to sidle right up to me, but when you realized it didn't work.
I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, what people said they can't debate?
I'm not going to drop their names. It has been a lot of people that said I cannot debate when she's up here. Right?
Okay.
And I try to respect everyone in that sense.
And you know what? You used to say this. You used to say too fucking bad because you were trying to fucking gain rapport with me. And when you found out that I'm not going to fall for your bullshit, then you shank.
You don't
so guess
know
what?
My character.
I don't care. Even if you said, Martha, please come up to my live every single day, I still wouldn't go anywhere near your manipulative ass. Because I didn't realize how manipulative you were until I really thought about it. And I was like,
you don't think
you are not even
you don't think people
genuine
and are actively trying?
What are you learning? What are you learning?
Hang on. Have you asked me what I have learned? Okay, I was
what are you learning
online? Okay, I am actively trying to avoid public spaces so I can understand So I
Really?
understand. Yes, I'm not
Oh
a
my
liar.
God.
I am trying to understand.
So instead of
where
just
y'all's side is
violating our
coming
boundaries
from.
sometimes, you're saying you're going to stop
No.
violating our boundaries altogether?
Yes, I am working on it.
Oh,
I said this today in a private
you were
message to
working on it.
somebody. Listen to me.
How's
I
that
said this
going?
to somebody in a private message that it's okay. I actively have worked on it.
Oh,
Last time I
over and
used a
oh, right. So
public
you still
space.
violate our boundaries as
Listen,
you taper
listen.
off of
The
it.
last time I used a public space was a gender neutral restroom. I haven't been to a public restroom in over a month.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I am
Well,
not.
that
Look,
would be the more safe thing to say now that this call out's happening, right?
no, I have a private
That would
voice
be the
message
damage
to
for that would be
somebody.
the damage control,
I have a
right? That would
private
be
voice
that.
message to someone on Discord that is a GC, and if I could
To
copy and paste it,
someone?
I would. Okay.
Amazing. Okay,
So
well,
it was before this even happened. I said this morning before this.
okay.
I even was aware of this.
So
And second of
you've
all,
suddenly realized because you're
no, I've
shanking
had this.
and manipulating GCs
Oh
and
my god.
sidling up that you now aren't going to use our spaces anymore. You've
I
suddenly
don't
realized
think
that.
people can learn and understand. You
Okay,
don't think people can
excellent.
learn.
Okay, excellent. Here's a cookie for doing the bare minimum. What
No,
else
I
did you want to
don't.
say?
Listen, the reason why I have a problem with Predator, okay, and I explained this on the live, is because of my experiences as a child. It is the only way my brain can fathom that word is in that sense when it comes to adult people. That is the only way my traumatized ass can differentiate that word. That is the only way. And yes, I agreed with Shrimp and I agree with the panel. That would be predatory with the strange guy and the thing. Yes, I conceded on that. I did.
Okay, so
Okay.
can you?
But I'm not a
Okay, so
snake. Okay, sorry.
you're going to no longer gaslight and manipulate women into thinking that calling men violating women's boundaries and consent in spaces meant to give them privacy around their bodies is predatory, as watering down the word or making it seem like
I will
that
not
word
I
is
will
just
not
too
say it's predatory,
strong.
but I will say it is boundary pushing. It is pushing a boundary. I will
So
say
when
that I
you
cannot use that
violate
word.
Okay, when you violate the boundaries and consent of women and girls in spaces where they're in states of undress as a male person, how is that not predatory?
Look, after Shrimp, we had that conversation yesterday, right? I listened and I did say I could see how that could be predatory. Yes, you gave a definition and I did concede
I'm
to
not
it.
talking about whatever hypothetical you guys talk.
No, no, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know
She
that
looked up the
conversation.
actual. She looked up the actual like definition of what it was. I can't remember where she pulled it from, but I said yes, and that yes, I would agree with that.
I don't
And
know what you're talking about right now. I'm talking
it was
about
the definition
using
on
female
predatory.
only spaces, saying to women and girls that calling out the predatory behavior of violating women and girls' boundaries and consent in privacy boundaries. That's predatory behavior.
I will
Yes?
concede. I will concede. Yes, based on what I
Okay.
learned yesterday, I will concede.
Based on what you think. Okay.
No, no, no. Based on the conversation we had yesterday, it's the reason I cannot I cannot associate that word with like a person who is doing that. The action behavior, while I would say yes, could be under the umbrella of a predatory yes, is because the trauma I faced as a child, I literally cannot use that word without associating it with that action to me. That is it's triggering. Now,
Do you
while
see
I
how
do
you're
not,
weaponizing your
no,
trauma right now
no,
in
I'm
order
not
to
weaponizing
excuse
it.
your
I am
grooming
telling
behavior?
you the reason why my brain cannot. Now,
You
do I
always have a
understand?
reason why
Do I
you're being
understand?
misogynistic or
Do I
being grooming or being
understand where
predatory.
y'all's side is coming from? 100%. I am not. I am genuine in my trying to learn. I am genuine. Excuse me. In my questions I ask, I sit and I listen. I do
No, you
listen.
do not.
Okay,
You do a lot more than that.
I've said to people for weeks, if you want to call me trans woman, you can call me trans femme, whatever. If that's what makes you more comfortable, you don't have to call me a woman. You don't have to. And I've said myself, I said I'd be fine calling myself trans femme or just trans. I don't care, right? And it's just, if you would have had a private call or something with me, we could have squashed this without being online.
Oh my God.
Because listen to me. No, listen. I am a genuine
Subject
person.
myself to your manipulations. I am
I
a
will
woman as well,
manipulate.
and I have those vulnerabilities too. When you use your trauma and you frame all of your nasty fucking manipulative, grooming, normalizing, shanking behavior. You have to wear women as a costume because of your trauma. You have to violate women's spaces because of your trauma. You have to frame the word predatory differently than we do because of your trauma. Listen, there is one sure way to manipulate women, and it is to cause an empathy trap. It is to cause women to view you as somebody to care for or to protect or have empathy for. And you do that masterfully, sir. And I'm not falling for it. I'm not gonna, you know what, before you were shanking me, you didn't ask me for a fucking call because you know I'm a lost cause. You know that you're not gonna be able to sink your shit in. No, you fucking didn't.
I did.
Absolutely not. When Andy was up there and everyone's up there absolutely slandering me and you didn't let me up to be able to say my side of the story, I received 0 messages from you. In fact, you've been attacking, you've been attacking me in comments. You have been a fucking enemy of mine. And then as soon as you realize I might be able to, I don't know, expose you a little bit, oh, now you're sidling up again a little bit here. You know what, dude? I'm going to keep calling out manipulation by men like you. The only reason you're over here hanging out with women who are resisting what you're doing, by the way, what you live every fucking day of your life, which is pure misogyny and discrimination and objectification and dehumanization of our fucking bodies. You are over here hanging out with women who are trying to stop this ideology that further dehumanizes us and causes us irreparable harm to our daughters. The only reason you're over here is to stop that resistance, is to fuck over that resistance, is to messy it up and muddle it up and obscure it and cause the women to invert their fucking resistance and make it into something else. And that's what men like you have managed to do over and over again. And I'm not fucking falling for it, sir. I'm going to keep calling it out. And you know what? If you stop using female spaces, here's a cookie for doing the bare minimum that you should have always been doing. And you know, just like Teddy said last night, once I realized how old she was, and then I stopped. It's like you should have never done it in the first place. Okay? You should never have decided with your male privilege that you didn't have to listen to women's fucking privacy boundaries. And now you're saying you're tapering off of it.
If you want to be honest, I never heard any of that until I got on TikTok. I hadn't used a men's restroom in almost 9 years until I got on TikTok. Because I said to myself, can I do this? And I said, yes, the only way I can is if my husband's with me. So I don't go to public spaces and public restrooms unless my husband is with me. Unless I have my man with me or I use a third space. Okay, but I'm actively trying to avoid those spaces. And honestly, Martha,
under no circumstances should you be setting your... Oh, yes, you do.
And you don't think a person can be genuine? You don't think a person can be genuinely kind?
Why would a man who doesn't even see women as human and wears them on their male body want to go hang out with women trying to stop the ideology that allows that to happen? Why would you be hanging out with those women?
I never said I want to make them stop their rhetoric. I actively listen because I'm actively trying
Why are men who wear us as a costume coming over to the women trying to fight the ideology that promotes wearing women as a costume? Why would you be over here? Because you genuinely care about us? Because you love us? Because you like us?
In defending all of trans rights, but after hearing how Margaret talked and what she talked about, Shrimp, they're the same person, Espera, Beans, everyone in that community, I sat and I listened. What I say online is what I say in private to these people, to my husband. I literally
you sat and you listened, and you know what else you did? You manipulated. You sat and you listened and you manipulated and you shanked and you caused all the harm that I said that you caused, okay? I didn't even get you to talk about your fucking drag queen views. Maybe you can come up in a minute for that. Just gonna get another person up here for a minute. Hey, Beans, what do you want to say?
I'll be quick. I just wanted to bring up 2 things. Number one, I can't say enough. Shrimp had my back, like 10 toes down, screaming bloody unalivement at Triss, like 10 toes down. She was ready to denounce and shank anybody for me. And I just want to start there. I think everybody has, I know. Just for people in the comments being like, Shrimp, like, wasn't there for Beans is fucking bullshit. Stop it. Number 2, we all go at this differently. I have had multiple, specifically more young trans individuals being like, hey, is it too late for me to detrans? Hey, do you think that this level of testosterone, do you think I'm ever going to be able to come back on it? Like JJ specifically, like people in that community who are like, hey, is this right? Is this right? And I feel like because of some of the relationships I've formed and how I speak to people, I am a more trustworthy individual, more suited to change minds.
Some minds, yeah.
Some minds, sure. You in your niche, in the way that you speak, it instigates and incites people who are already on your side, and that's great. Like it gets me riled up.
I've changed people's mind off
I'm
the
sure
fence
you,
like
I'm
so
sure,
much.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. And I want you to know.
I rev them up
way,
to be like, to say no with all their fucking chest. But I'm not going to I'm not going to denounce your technique, because I actually, at first I got really mad, and then I listened to you on a live and I was like, wait a minute. She's actually got an angle here, and this is a good angle. I'm not at all coming down on you or Shrimp. I'm saying that these manipulators are manipulating. Whether or not, however you choose to advocate, I will not attack you. I'm not going to come on and be like, Beans, why aren't you doing it my way? I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to call out these little fucking snakes. And they do influence the way that you do things and the way that even I do things. Even Jamie coming up, there's a part of me that is a female, that part of me that's a woman, the part of me that he manipulates. I can feel it being pulled on. I can feel it. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, so there's no hard feelings towards you guys at all, other than frustration at seeing the tolerance for these men after shanking one of her best friends in such a damaging way. And you don't know what these men did. You don't know behind the scenes, the kind of discords. We don't know. We don't know how sneaky it could be beyond our fucking imagination. And this is what women don't understand. When you go onto the forums, the Manosphere forums and all these forums, the hatred and perversion and violence that men feel towards women, some men, there's lots of good men out there who don't do this, but some men feel about us, it shocks women. Women can't even comprehend it. They don't even understand how sick some men can be. And the men who are so fucked that they don't even see us as human beings, that they'll wear us, you don't know how fucked up these men can be. And they are absolutely in here manipulating and causing skewed sort of perspectives that absolutely could affect your advocacy. But I'm not going to say that the way you advocate is wrong or bad. I'm not saying that. I just want these men to be, I like what MJ does. I like to call out the manipulation, and I like to point it out in real time. And when I use people like Shrimp as an example of seeing what they've done to you, and then still, the outburst happens, the anger happens, the condemnation happens. But then once all that has simmered down, who's back on the fucking panel? Who's hanging out, continuing their poisonous bullshit? Reasonable, fucking Red Rose, fucking Mistress, just hanging out, shooting the shit. It's poisonous and toxic, and I'll call it out. But you guys, I'm honestly not beefing with you.
Yeah, I think and Shrimp, I don't, if I have a problem with Shrimp or how she's having my back, I'll tell her. I felt incredibly protected by her. I don't necessarily think she was shooting the shit. I can't say. I don't think that's her motive. All I'm asking is and I think you said it already, how we go about it is very similar. How we attempt to change minds is by kind of sitting in neutrality at times, not believing neutrality, but sitting in it, arguing in it, using it to our advantage. Yep. And Shrimp and I both do that. And I just wanted to let you know, Shrimp did have my back, and I did
see that, but then I just see them being able to weasel their way in some way, shape, or form again. And so that's what prompted me to just go, you know what? I'm going to go hard on these snakes. I'm going to go hard on, if I see this shit where they because women can be hurt so bad by men. Like I say, the acid attack, or the woman, all these stories of women being almost fucking, even Life is Tough, who's an absolute fucking warrior princess, was almost killed over 100 times by this fucking man that was in her life. Women, I will always view women as vulnerable, and I will always go to bat and protect women, even though it may sound like I'm coming down a little bit about like, oh, why are you going back and sitting with these fuckers again who literally shanked your fucking friend? That sounds frustrated, right? But I'm not, it doesn't change the way I feel about you guys. It's not like, oh, now I don't like you anymore. And now now you're my enemy or something and I'm beefing. It's not like that. I'm just so mad that these vulnerabilities that women have are constantly exploited by these fucking men. And we can be as smart as we want, but they know how to get into the subconscious part, the part that the empathy traps work on, that the survival mechanisms are queued up to respond to. They fucking know them, they see them, and they exploit them. And all of us, including myself, are very vulnerable to it. That's why I don't let T-Man come up and manipulate me for too long, right? Because I can feel it. I'm like, oh, he's got this voice and he's got these words and he's like, oh, I'm really trying and I really care. And no, I'm just a genuine. He used these words. I'm just like, oh, like, fuck, man. Like, I'm just going to keep calling it out when I see it. And I've seen it for months and I'm disgusted by it all the time. And I keep my mouth shut, but I'm not keeping my mouth shut about it anymore. I'm going to keep calling these little predators who come in and prey on women. I'm just going to keep pointing out their predatory behavior forever. Yeah. And it's not a beef to you guys.
No, I get it. I don't feel threatened by Reasonable or anything.
I know. He really makes sure that he makes sure of that. He makes sure.
I just needed to come up here and say, like, me personally, I'm not threatened or scared of Reasonable, and I just needed to speak on Shrimp's behalf. Like, she had my fucking back. But I appreciate you, Martha, and everything that you do. There's a reason why you have the amount of followers that you have. I just have patience for how Shrimp and I do it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say, babe.
No worries. Thanks for coming up.
Tris, I had to point out earlier today, I said, I think it was Ash's live. Ash invited me to come in to talk about the situation the other day. And I went in and I talked to them and I was like, you guys give me endless shit for paneling Martha, for paneling Never. I said, Martha and Never say things you guys don't like to hear. But then you guys have Tris up here. And I told them everything that happened. And Tris said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And then it was like, okay, problem solved. And I was like, hello? Like, you guys, and then I never want to hear from you guys ever again about who I panel. You have somebody up here who has actively accused people of doxing, has no proof of that, has no proof of any of the people. And all they have to do is say sorry. That's it.
Yep.
Sorry.
Or in the comments yesterday where he's like, fine, hate me then. Usually women, when they hear somebody say that, they're automatically going to come and go, no, I don't hate you. I wouldn't hate people. I don't have hate in my heart, blah, blah, blah. Like this, they know, they just fucking know. They know how to manipulate women and they keep doing it right in your face. They keep playing in your face and you keep letting them in certain ways. You'll call them out, but then you let the vampire back in the house. And that's the frustration I have. And I'm going to keep expressing that frustration. And hopefully it's not coming across as a beefing type of expression, but it is frustrating because these men, they get in there and they toxify your space so that now the people who are coming in, who are learning how to fight this ideology, are getting this super manipulated version of the resistance. And it's it's just so frustrating to me. I wish I could figure out the TikTok so that I could hold a space that is a strong space, but TikTok keeps fucking me over and taking me down and I can't get the viewers and all this shit. So the spaces that are rolling with the conversations and are rolling with the views and people are being influenced, those spaces are goddamn fucking hijacked. And it pisses me off. Come on, guys, hop up.
I'm going to block this person who is very clearly using your...
Oh, I didn't see that.
We're not going to slip.
Come on, hop up.
Wise. Yeah, but no, I mean, I am, am I agitated right now with you? A little bit, but do I think you have good intentions? Yeah, I'm not going to... obviously when anybody says something or says you're doing this wrong, immediately your reaction is to be kind of what do you mean? Yeah, but I'm
Well,
not
it's
dumb
not
enough
even
to
so
be
much
like,
the way that you do it. Like, I don't need you to be like the way I'm doing things. It's not that I think you're doing things wrong. It's that I think that you are allowing, I guess it is wrong, I think, to allow the vampires back in your house to contaminate your house when you do have the potential to influence like the people who are coming into your space. And like I said, people have messaged about like that, about feeling like frustrated that like this isn't the space for the resistance, but it feels like it is sometimes, right? Like it's like, this is why people were so mad at Lee back in the day. She had these spaces that like everyone felt safe in, and then she brought Buck Angel in, and she started chastising everybody for calling him or calling her a she, and then everyone just felt so betrayed. They were like, "What? I thought this was a space that we were resisting all this, and you're chastising us for like." Resisting it, you know, and not to say you're chastising, but the people who panel with you, like there's lots of people who don't want to go anywhere near this like group. Like you guys are almost like a group now. There's like Red Rose and
they're the only
Luca
people willing to
and
come up. They're
Tris
the
and
only people
Andy.
willing to come up and debate.
Well, today you
Like
had a great
I
panel. I was like, sweet. I look at your panel today. I was like, no toxic
it was
fuckers in
Phil
sight.
Bros though.
Oh, was
It was
it?
all Phil Bros. It was all Phil Bros, and they were doing
I
Phil
saw
Bros
like
Circle Jerk
Manimal
time.
and Life, and who else was on there? I don't even know.
Yeah,
But
that and
then
that part
you're also
I
on
was
like
fine in the
Ash's panel
beginning.
with like Starlit Wolf and stuff, and they're all just like, yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah,
all. It's like,
that was me
ugh.
trying to tell them like, hey, like, yeah, I hope you guys don't think this is acceptable. Like, and then why again do you guys panel Tris? But then you come after me and you tell me that I'm an awful person because what? Martha
And
calls you creepy or weird
Even
or
Polly,
whatever.
I've
Like,
like, I think Polly might be like, I don't know, like the whole like chastising us, like you guys are disgusting for saying the things that we're saying when
yeah,
we're literally being shanked by these fuckers. And he's like, tone down your language, young lady, as you're bleeding all over the floor. Like, what? Fuck these men. Hold on, let's talk to Red Rose here. I'm going to drop you just for Red Rose. Go ahead, Red Rose. What do you want to groom today?
I keep hearing you say my name. Like, I'm not, I don't know
I'm
what
just saying
you're,
you're just part of that fucking shank crew of coming
the
in
shank crew.
to, yeah, the shankers who come in to
Oh.
where women are having a resistance against your fucking disgusting ideology. And
Do
then
you
you
want
just go in
people to
there and
debate
manipulate
against, or
and
do you
twist
not
it.
want people to
You're
debate
not
against? Because that's what
debating.
I'm
You're
there for.
hanging out. You're hanging out. You're manipulating. You're fucking twisting and you're keeping things at bay over here. And you're just putting your influence in. You're not here to, you're not having debates. You're literally just like being a, just being a little, I don't know, what's like a contaminant. And you know what you're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised, Red Rose, if you were involved in all that shit that happened to Beans. You have
Why would you
well,
think that?
because you have Andy's back, because you have Miss Triss's back, because you have all the people who would do these kinds of things back, because you guys are you guys are in solidarity, and then you pretend to have some kind of weird solidarity with GCs over here because you constantly come over and hang out and constantly. I don't know. Are you getting information? Why are you hanging out over with the GCs more than with your own side? Or why are you not paneling in debate panels? Why are you paneling in hangout rapport gaining panels where you're sitting there shooting the shit and getting more and more acquainted?
That's not what's happening at all. We're going over and debating.
That's
That's what
not what
we
I
don't,
see. I see you've formed
then
like
you're
a
not
group
seeing me,
with
then
these
you're not
people.
seeing me because I'm
Sometimes
constantly over there
no, I'll
debating.
give you that sometimes you are debating. If you go into certain panels where the debates are happening, and I've debated you in those panels, and
Yeah.
that's how the adversary or opponent versus like when we're at war or we're at when we're trying to resist your invasion of everything female, that's where that's looking fine. But when you're in panels like every single day and just shooting the shit and hanging out as if this is your home, as if this is your group, as if these are your friends, it's sus, my dude. You're literally playing in women's faces.
I'm not playing in women's faces.
Yes, you are, because you're
No, I'm
in
not.
woman face. You're in woman face, and you're in women's
I'm in
faces.
my
So
face.
you're double woman facing faces. You're like the woman face squared.
Come on,
You are though. You're
Martha.
literally okay, dude.
Martha, come
You
on.
are wearing women as a costume. Do you use female only spaces? I don't even know this about you.
Honestly, I don't leave the house.
Okay.
Will
If you
I?
were to leave the house, that's really weird. Why don't you leave the house? Anyway, if you were to leave the house,
I mean, that's
why
a hypothetical. I don't know.
would you don't know what you would do? Okay, well the
Um,
answer should be no, I would never violate female privacy boundaries and consent because of my own bullshit. So there's that. So you don't respect female people
no,
as
I don't
human
think.
beings. You don't respect female boundaries. What else? What else are you pro? Are you pro transing kids?
I'm not going to talk about all of my pros, Martha.
Okay,
Like,
well
if you
then
want to
that's
debate
why
me on
that
something, we can
but that's
debate.
what
But
I'm saying, that you are playing in women's spaces. You hate women, you don't see them as human beings, and yet you're kikiing as if you're their friend. It's sus.
all right. I mean, I'm there to debate, but you can call it whatever you want.
Whatever. Thanks for coming up, Red Rose. Okay, well, that's pretty much everything I have to say on that matter. Again, I'm not beefing with the women who, are falling somewhat prey to these men. I just want to call them out. I just want to say, hey, you're being shanked while they give you a hug. They're hugging you. They're telling you about their traumas. They're telling you how they feel. They're telling you that they're showing you their pets. They're trying to like bring you their pets. They're trying to like, you have to understand that women, this is how women work. Women are relational beings. These men know that and they exploit it. The whole point I'm trying to make is that they don't fucking like you. In fact, they hate you. You cannot like or think that people are human when you reduce them to an aesthetic that you can purchase, okay? And when they don't regard your privacy boundaries, okay? Like I know I'm kind of like talking in like a condescending, infantilizing way, and that's probably annoying, but it just comes from my like frustration. They hate you, okay? They hate us. The reason why they target me so much is because they see that I'm not like malleable, that I am actually a threat. What they do with you is they try to render you no longer a threat. That's why they're over here. They're trying to minimize the threat against their ideology. They want to maintain their ideology. They don't like it when women are unanimously speaking up and saying, get these fucking predators the fuck out of our daughters' change rooms right now. There's no room for wiggle there. There's no wiggle room. Okay, I'm talking weird. Sorry. There's no wiggle room there. Okay? It is when they hear that resolve, and they hear that resolve in my voice, and so they are trying to demonize me and target me, and they're trying to poison you against me, or not allow me up on panels, or try to demonize different like things that I've said, or whatever, in order to get the voices that are the hard no, the very, very hard no's. They can't do anything with that. There's no wiggle room. It's just like the predator, like I was talking about Gabor Mate, when his colleague could grape a pregnant woman in the first appointment, and he explained how it happened. And so a predator looks at your boundaries and goes, where are they? Right? So he might sit too close to you. You don't move away. Now he knows your prey right away. Okay, you didn't move away. Now he might touch his knee to your knee as he's talking. You didn't move away. This person is definitely prey. As he's talking, he might put his hand on your knee and be like, yeah, so what do you think about that hand on the knee? You didn't go, excuse me, don't touch me, because most women are taught to be quiet. Don't make a big deal. Don't embarrass yourself. No one's going to believe you anyway. You are making too big of a deal about this. This person's a person of authority. They would never do this. You're making a big deal out of nothing. And lots of women and girls have been gaslit out of their own embodiment to the point where like, I'm cold. You're not cold. I'm hungry. You're not hungry. I'm scared. You're not scared. This isn't scary. What are you talking about? They've been groomed out of their own boundaries for their whole fucking lives. And these men know it. and they push it to find out where's the boundaries, where are they, and if they see them way the fuck over there, then they'll just keep pushing until they encounter a boundary, right? So that's what these men do. They're predators. There's a really, hold on, let me find it. There's a really, really good, I just found a meme the other day. Is it this one? Oh yeah, it's this one. So it says hold on. It says trans identifying males are a pack of filthy, paraphilic, porn washed con artists. They know they're not women. They know we know they're not women. They don't care because they are depraved troglodytes. All they think about is getting off. Men who call themselves women are actually the worst men. And this is because this man is saying, mounting unknown cis girls into public urinals to act as relief stations for stressed trans girls to piss and come on. This is what these men think of us. Okay, to the women who are constantly like innocent or what's the word, naive to men and how much they hate us, go into like these men's fetish forums, like go into the autogynephiles fetish forums, go into the manosphere. You will, there's actually a woman on here, she reads manosphere forum like chats about like foids and like the violent, like your mind cannot even fathom how much these men hate women and how much they fantasize about raping and murdering us in the most depraved ways. Like I'm talking fantasy, I can't even say them. They are, and this is why oh yeah, but I also just fuck everybody and whatever. It's like these men don't have the same morality. They are sick. The reason they're wearing us as a costume is because they're sick. They're not healthy. They're fucked up, okay? These are not trustworthy men. These are not men you should be giving the benefit of the doubt to. These are not men that care about you. In fact, they don't even see you as human. And I don't think you understand. I know I keep saying that over and over again. Hopefully it's not losing its effect. But I don't think you quite understand what that means. If when men don't see us as human beings, I don't think you understand the levels of depravity that leads them to, because they're sexually attracted and they've taken their sexual attraction further to covetousness about our bodies. They want our bodies on their own bodies. They want to skinwalk us. They want to wear our fucking female form on their male form. They want to conquer it. They want to take it. They want to embody it. They want it for themselves. You don't understand how much they hate you and how much they dehumanize you. You have no idea. And if you did, you wouldn't give these men any fucking leeway or room to manipulate you. They push your boundaries. They see your boundaries aren't here. They push your boundaries more. They see your boundaries aren't there. And in fact, these men know how to make your boundaries less and less strong. There are techniques like, here's another technique. So when men, I've had people do this on me, like, how do I word this? They'll make a request. They'll say, can I have $200? And then you're like, no? Oh my God. And they're like, oh, okay, well, what if you just give me $5 and a massage and you promise to give me $10 later? Like when they make like a really outrageous request and you're like, you put up a boundary, you're like, no. You say no, right? It's like you've used up your no or something, or used up your boundary, because then they're like, oh, okay, well, then they just make it like less of a request. And then you're like, oh, that's a lot less. And like, there's this need for women to appease what men are asking for or wanting. And they know this, right? So they'll ask for something outrageous first, or they'll push the boundary a lot first. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, I won't do that anymore. I'll just do this. What about this? And then as soon as the woman acquiesces to the lesser ask, 100% they've got them hooked. They can now start to push their boundaries out further from there. Like, this is the kind of stuff you need to understand. Oh, the reasonable manipulator is back. I don't know. I'm losing my voice. I'm getting tired. Hold on. Let me just show a few. Boop. Let me just get a drink here before I bring up the reasonable manipulator. Yeah, I don't like it's funny. I was feeling so sad the other night. I was like, man, I used to be on fire on this app. Like, I had so much passion and energy. But I was 40 when I got on this app. Now I'm 44 and I'm like not as much energy. Like, and my brain doesn't work as well as it used to either. I'm like, damn, like 4 years can really like deteriorate you, like just in the amount that you're able to do as far as brain performance, as far as energy, as far as life force. Like, it's just like, damn, I just don't have as much of it as I used to have. And it also gets expelled, right? Like, over the 4 years, it's been expelled a lot. It's been expressed a lot. So when these new scenarios pop up, it's like not as, I don't know, not as powerful, I guess. Oh, Corey, you like the live. That's nice of you. And then you have them in the comments wanting their 15 seconds of fame. We need the fire back. I know, it's like, Jesus, maybe I should start like drinking coffee or something just to like give me more energy. And because I'm like basically yelling, I'm like losing my voice. Oh, you'll be quick. Okay. Let's see what kind of little bug in my ear you want to plant.
Yeah. I'll be quick because I know you said you don't really have much energy to talk. Why was my husband brought into
How considerate of you. Oh, just because because you try to make it seem like you're a normal person, but you're degenerate.
Elaborate. How is my husband involved?
Well, because you try to pretend that you just have like a normal life with a husband, but then you kind of reveal that you're a degenerate who just goes and fucks a bunch of people.
Actually, I don't. I'm actually
That's
celibate.
what you said.
I'm dating somebody. No, I never said that. I can have a second partner because of certain issues within our marriage. Doesn't mean I don't love my husband.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care. What do you? What else?
Listen,
That's why I said that. Anyway, what do you want?
The only thing I want to say is don't bring my husband into this. Don't even mention my husband. Only like he has no place in this. Nothing with my husband.
You mention your husband.
Yeah, because he's my husband, not yours.
Right. So if I say that I'm not. Am I talking about him? Am I saying T's husband has this kind of thoughts and this kind of actions, and T's husband said this, and T's husband went over to the store the other day? Am I saying anything like that, or am I just saying you claim to have this husband in normal life, but then you're a degenerate? It's these kind of cues. It's these kind of I don't know, clues that you're not this like wholesome, normal person.
Clearly you don't know anything that's happened in my personal life, nor should you. But I have my reasons.
Okay, I don't care. Anyway, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, you want to mention about the drag thing. My whole stance on that, if you would listen about that, is I don't care what other people. They're not my kids. I don't want kids around my drag, right? But I'm not going to sit here and police other. I grew up being taught by my mother. These are their kids. You do not judge someone else by how they want to raise their kids. I had that same argument with her not too long ago. Okay.
So if somebody was bringing their kids to the strip club, would you do anything about that, or would you just say the same thing you're saying right now?
No, because that's sexual exploitation. Now, when they are at, when they are at,
so is drag queen groomer hour.
When they are fully clothed, when they have zero skin showing, I see no problem with that for the parents' decision. That is the parents' decision. I have no control over that. That's why I don't care. It's not my business. I don't care. It's
It
not
is
my
our
business.
business to protect children when people are normalizing drag queen groomer hour for children. So here's the reasons. One, exposing children to adult fetish entertainment that has to do with disregarding women's humanity and making caricatures out of female people is spreading misogyny, and it's also grooming sexually. I can send you clips of a fully clothed ball gown wearing drag queen teaching the children to twerk. I don't give a fuck if he's
Yeah,
fully
I don't agree
clothed
with that. I
or
have said
not.
that too. If there's
Yeah,
anything that's
but guess what?
inappropriate physically for a
Guess what?
child, I don't disagree
Unreasonable.
with that.
Guess what? When you open the fucking door for adult fetish entertainers who their whole shtick is sexual innuendo and burlesque type performances and wearing women as a costume in ways that are absolutely caricature and exaggerated, you open the door for these worlds you open the door for these worlds to come together, and then you allow for grooming to occur because you don't need to bring adult entertainers anywhere near fucking children. And for you to say, well, as long as those adult entertainers are fully clothed, even though we're seeing shit that's absolutely alarming happening because of this, and you taking this nonchalant attitude and saying it's not my kids, who cares about other people's kids? This is our society. This is our children. The children matter more than all of you, all of
Can you
us.
tell
The
me
children matter more than me.
Can
The
you tell me
children,
how I'm supposed to what would I do in that situation? Like, I'm being genuine. I don't
you
understand
just
what I'm supposed to be
condemn
doing.
it. You just say, nope, get these fucking groomers away from children. They belong nowhere near children. Why are we bridging those worlds? Why are we bringing adult fetish entertainment worlds with fucking drag queens named Penetration towards children in any way, shape, or form, queering the kids? I'll send you an article called The Queering
Yes, please.
Drag
Anything
Queen
you have, send
Story
it to
Hour,
me.
Queer Pedagogy, it's called. And it's an actual project where they're trying to queer the children. They're trying to normalize. In fact, there was a video I watched where a big, giant, disgusting fucking drag queen is sitting there with these two children, and the children are looking up at them wide eyed in almost horror. And they're like, well, what do you think of me? They're like, I don't know. They're like, well, what do you think I am, a boy or a girl? A girl? No. And like just confusing them and being creepy. And we've got two drag queens in Canada called Fifi and Fufu. And the CBC Canada calls them the beacons of light. And they go and do drag queen groomer hour, and they have violent pornography on the fucking internet. All you'd have to do is Google your favorite fun drag queen, and you would get fucking corn with weapons in it and shit. Like, these people do not, in their adult fetish worlds of kink and gross shit, they don't belong anywhere near children. And you, as a degenerate yourself, who also lives these weird lifestyles and literally wears women as a costume, of course you don't see a problem with it, because you are a sick person too.
If you would send me the articles you have and videos you have, I will look at them. Like, drag is the one thing I will actually be open about, because I've heard the same stuff for months. I said the same thing the other day about Pride, how there are places that have very sexual, explicit stuff, and I do not agree with that at all. Zero. I don't.
Well, maybe you should stop promoting it. And you also do drag, which of course is just like woman face. Like, if you have a problem with blackface, I don't see why you would feel comfortable with doing woman face. You do realize that there are, 47 million slaves in the world, and 74% of those slaves are women. So why you, as the oppressor class males, think it's okay to make caricatures of our bodies and make fun of us on stage, just like blackface did to black people? Not sure why you're such a hypocrite there.
Again, like I've said to other people, there's a certain side that some people cannot see because they do not live through your eyes, right?
Yeah, because you live in a degenerate world.
No, listen, someone who's not female generally cannot see that side of things. And while I've heard how it makes y'all feel, and I said this earlier, I'm sorry y'all feel that people make fun of you, right? I said this the other day. I did not realize that that's how people felt.
Thanks.
While I can see it from only a certain point to a certain extent, I
Yeah,
don't
because
want
you're
people
steeped in
quoting unquote.
misogyny like everybody else.
I don't listen. I don't want people
Women are
to
just
feel
supposed to be good
uncomfortable.
sports about all this shit.
No, I think everyone should speak out against what they don't believe in. That is 100% everyone's right. I don't know why people think they can't. I never said anyone cannot speak on what they don't believe in.
Yeah,
That
unless
is our
you
basic
just
human
keep them
right.
off your panel. Yeah, you're right. No,
No,
that's fine.
listen. No, okay, look. I am sorry if you felt that I didn't let you speak your piece. That was not against you
Oh,
personally.
especially when
Okay?
people were slandering me, hey?
I said
You
that
don't
to
think
people
that
the other day. I said that people
you
before
don't
that
think that I should
happened.
have been able to come up and defend myself, but instead you wanted to give Andy all the power. Yeah. Because you'll coddle men who literally call for violence against women and girls,
I
who
said
call
that
us
wasn't okay.
cockroaches,
I said
who
that was
call
not
us
okay.
Nazis and
I
demons, who
said that
call
was
us
not
fucking
okay.
monsters. Oh, you
I
said it was
told
not
her.
okay.
No,
But then
I
this is
told
why
her
you're
that
playing in our
that
face. This is why you're
no,
playing in our face because you're
Martha.
saying one thing and doing another. You're
I no, I
saying
have
that you
told
don't
her
agree
that
with
that
it.
is not
And then
okay.
you're
I
not
said what
letting
she
me up
did.
to say, what the fuck? Here's my side of the story.
Was
No,
this
no, no,
for the
no.
book
You
stuff?
let him have his
Was
control
was
and
that for the
your
book stuff
control.
though? For the book
What?
stuff? Like yeah, them saying that
No,
you were
not the
turning
book
it around.
stuff. That was
No?
way before.
Okay.
You stopped.
Oh.
You wouldn't let me up way before when Andy was like, and then even Polly's like, yeah, don't let her up. Everyone's like, yeah, you guys are all like, yeah, we're not gonna. It's like
What?
as
Oh, was
they
that
said
that
a
day
whole
you
bunch of
messaged me? Wait, was that
they
that day
said
you
a whole
messaged
bunch
me
of
on it?
shit about me. I
Was
have
that
no
the day you
idea.
messaged me? Because you were asked, can I come up? And I was not looking at my phone that day. I actually had my phone turned off because I was
I
furious.
said, wow, oh yeah, I did. I said, hey, you should probably let me up to speak my own piece instead of letting these fuckers slander
Okay,
me
okay.
and letting Andy
I
control
truly
your
am
fucking
sorry.
panel.
I am sorry
Like,
about that. My phone was not turned up.
oh
I
my
was going.
fucking god,
No,
you were.
listen.
I
No,
was
I
in
was
the
going.
comments
I
too, and
wasn't
you were
looking. I wasn't
responding to
looking.
me.
No,
Oh,
no, I wasn't.
you lying little shit. Get the fuck away from me. Fucking little shit. You were present. You weren't away from your phone. You were like, yeah, no, I'm not letting Martha up because nope, blah, blah, blah. You would say all about why you're not letting me up. And Andy's like, yeah, don't let her, blah, blah, blah. All this, like, blocking my requests, literally up there shit talking me, slandering me. So don't sit in my fucking live and tell me that you want everyone to have a voice and you want everyone to speak out and you want everyone to be able to be heard. You only want to control who can be heard, okay? You're not neutral, you're not reasonable. You're a manipulator and you're playing in my face right fucking now. I don't usually pick up TikTok lingo, but that one I like, playing in your face, because that describes so much of what happens on this fucking app. People say one thing and they do another. Fuck you. This is getting exhausting fighting anyway. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm not letting you manipulate anymore, my dude. You're you're fucking done. You're done on my panel, that's for sure. At least I gave you the fucking chance to speak your piece. But instead, you just tried to manipulate me and you're like, oh, I'm truly sorry about that. You guys, it was like a force up there. And there was slander. And you know what, you guys always try to do this. And even on my side, you always say, oh, I don't want to talk about people unless they have the chance to defend themselves or unless they have the chance to be up here. And I'm like requesting, and you're just letting fucking Andy control the whole fucking panel and slander me. And you're like backing the man who says that women are cockroaches, demons. We knew how to deal with these people in Germany as if we're Nazis who should be exterminated. Backing Kinder Potato, who's calling for violence and my death, backing these men who crash out and call women dehumanizing names and call for violence against us, and then personally slander me, and then playing in my face and going, I didn't realize what's going on. You were absolutely there. And I messaged you, and my request kept getting denied. So I wanted to be able to tell my side of the story when that was happening. You showed your true colors, okay? And also, I've had your card the whole time. I was just kind of watching. I didn't realize how much of a snake you are, but you are an absolute snake, and you will snake every moment of your life. You're a con man. You're a fucking con man, and you will continue to con. And every single word that comes out of your mouth is a con. So let that be a lesson to women. He's a con artist, and so is all of these fucking men who wear us as a costume and shank us as they drip with sweetness. Anyway, does anyone want to give me a gift so I can sing them a song? No, I'm just joking. I actually do kind of want to sing a song, but my voice is gone. Let's sing. Do I know any "Go Fuck Yourselves" songs? Yeah, I mean, like, I don't like to be so hostile. I know I'm a very masculine woman, but I am also like very much so a woman. And this kind of stuff, like being very confrontational, being very fighting, like, and attacking, I don't love this. And actually, Jamie, I sat on this backdrop for about 3 days and I was like, ugh. And I actually deleted it off my phone, but I put it into my Discord because I was like, fuck, I'm going to want to do this, I think, because he's nonstop manipulating and I just watch it day in and day out. And I'm going to need to call it out. And there's been so much confrontation on this app lately. There's the whole Teddy thing last night, which I was involved in exposing, and that was really nerve-wracking. There was the whole Andy thing, which was a big rigmarole, and it's ongoing. There's just been so much drama, and I've been able to debate within it, and I haven't really done as much like awareness lives, and I really absolutely like tossed it around whether I should do this live today. And I just finally saw again, you just up there fucking twisting your knife. And I was like, you know what? I'm just doing it. I'm doing this fucking live. I'm putting it out there. And like, especially when you're coming across like so nice and so like, look, I'm really going to change and I'm really going to try while you shank over here. Like, it's exhausting. I got to tell you, it's exhausting for me to maintain my animosity. And I know you know that. I know that you come across the way you do. You don't break character, right? You don't ever do the Andy thing where you crash the fuck out. And, you know, usually the AGPs, like when I've held this animosity or held their feet to the fire, they usually crack and they go into like a misogynistic meltdown where they start to like show their true colors about, like, the first one I did that with was Tabby. He was like manipulating all these women in the panels and everyone was defending him and everyone's like, Martha, you're being hateful. He's on our side. Martha, stop calling out Tabby. He believes what she believes. Some of the GCs would call him she believes what we believe. This guy's a big, hairy, burly man before he like pretended to be a woman, like this big, giant, fat, bearded man. And then he's talking like this. My name is Tabby, and I love all of you guys, and I agree with you. And then I'm like, dude, this guy's just an AGP running his fetish under the radar. Stop falling for it. And everyone's like, oh my God, Martha, don't attack my friend. And like, he's so nice and he believes what we believe. You're just being hateful and we don't represent that. And then what happened? I held his feet and we don't represent that. And then what happened? I held his feet to the fire for one more live. He went live the next fucking day and he said, trans people, everybody should use women's spaces and piss on the floor and like piss all over the toilet. He had it as backdrop. He showed his fucking true colors, and they always show their true colors every fucking time without fail. Jamie, he's definitely not. I haven't seen him crash out yet, but who knows? If I keep holding his feet to the fire and I keep saying, you know what? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're a manipulator. Who knows? Maybe he'll show he's already shown his true colors, but as far as like crashing out or like being openly misogynistic, like, or he calls us names or, you know, whatever. Who knows if he'll ever do that? But I think he's found like a lot of really effective manipulation by holding character and remaining like, I'm so nice, guys. I'm absolutely dripping with sweetness. Yes, I stabbed Martha. Yes, I helped stab Beans. But you won't ever know about that because that's in our secret Discord where all of the trans-identified males plot and do gross things to talk about how we can dismantle the resistance against our ideology. Of course, I'm just talking out my ass there. I don't actually know if they're all gathered to do that, but I do know that there's like men do gather in forums and men do gather in discords, and these men, like, suddenly we just don't know who doxed Beans, and we just don't know who did any of this. And even though Tris made that list, he didn't make that list. He didn't make the list, but he did make the list. They see us as human beings, but they just wear us as aesthetic. They don't go in our spaces, but sometimes they go in our spaces. And we're supposed to kiss his ass if he says he's trying to not go in our spaces. You want a cookie? Oh, do you try not to grape people too? How's that going? Do you try not to drive drunk? Amazing. Do you try not to slap puppies across the face? Wow. Bare minimum. Beyond bare minimum. Like, beyond. It shouldn't even occur to you to go into female spaces. It shouldn't even be something that you feel entitled to do for one goddamn minute of your life. And you just like violate, or you have violated, but now you've seen the light because you care about us, right? You care. You care about our boundaries. You care about our feelings. You want us all to be heard. Oh, but shank, shank, shank. But then you say another thing. What you say and what you do are two different things, right? But now we're supposed to believe that you're not using our spaces anymore because you say you're not. Suddenly you realized from hanging out with us, right? Because you care. Suddenly you realize that our boundaries do matter, right? And now you're saying that you're not going to do it and maybe doing another thing, maybe. We're just supposed to believe you though, right? Just believe a liar, manipulator, snake in woman face, who doesn't just do woman face as a lifestyle, but he also does the exaggerated caricature of woman face that is equivalent to blackface, and it's disrespect. So yeah, let's believe him. Let's believe what he has to say. Okay, guys, I am exhausted at being hostile because that kind of energy is not very life force feeding. It doesn't fill my cup, so to speak. It doesn't make me feel good in my body. It doesn't make me feel like my heart is filling with joy. So I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'll probably go live later. I'm gonna read some comments and then I'm gonna show some screenshots and then I'm gonna go. They all hug, set out to deceive and expect and respect affirmation. It's wild, exactly. Just stay away and we will have no problem, sir. Why is that so hard? I have a young daughter and I don't want any of these men around her or me for that matter. Exactly. Is Ash the toothless one? Yes. You can only be on one side. There's no middle ground. Exactly. Believe none of them. They're all liars. Exactly. They're all con men. Whatever happened to that one girl? What the fuck's her name? And her backdrop was always that trans women are con men. Mellow or something? What was her name? Where'd she go? I like her backdrop. Trans women are con men. If the person she told me Doxter is actually who did it, I got the at. Well, can you send me who doxed her, please? Send it to me, please. This is a level of paranoia I've never encountered. Paranoia of what? These men playing in our faces as they like literally play in our face. I love that. I'm going to say I love that new terminology. All tunes are bad, even Coco and Chloe. Yep. Sweet Seed, the old man with the dentures. That's what the bee said right before he stung you. It's getting difficult to know who to trust. Well, you never trust men in women costume, I'll tell you that. Some women think Ash is nice too. Honestly, I think the men who wear us as a costume really like to bag a turf. They really like to get a turf trophy. They're like, look, I conned a turf. Ha ha ha. Look, we conned these turfs. We conned the GCs. They stack them like trophies. Don't be gullible, women. Well, Preds are good at blending in. Exactly. But don't you know that's why Reasonable tried to gaslight us out of using the word predator? because his trauma makes it so he can't see the word predator any other way than what his trauma dictates him to see it as. And so we need to really just make room for that, okay? Stop using the word predator when you describe predators being predators, please. You stand your ground. I love you for that. You see through the BS. Thank you for always speaking up. Thank you for saying that. Let me make sure I'm following you. There we go. I thought he was on our side. He seemed reliable. No men who wear women. Thank you. Yes, please gift and share and like and gift all the gifts and like all the shares and like all the share gifts. Last night we got Teddy booted off this app because he was being a predator to a 15-year-old girl. We almost got Andy off of here, but this app is his life, I think, so he's not going to give it up. He's going to keep sucking off of women. 15, talking to a 16-year-old, deactivated his. But it doesn't make any sense because he's like, can I tell you something? Wait, how old are you first? And then he's like, oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say that you are attractive. That would have been I was gonna say that you are attractive. That would have been a really good compliment to you. You would have liked that. She'd be like, yeah, that would have made your day or whatever. Yeah, compliments make my day. And it's true because I am actually attracted to you. And he's saying, oh no, I said that stuff after. When it's like, no, the conversation where she told you her age was you building up to tell her that you think she's attractive. And you told her she's attractive anyway. Like, even though you learned her age. Like, who learns a girl's age of 15 and then still says, oh, I was gonna say you were attractive? Like, what? Who fucking says that? And then he said stuff like, oh, I don't want to be seen as a predator and all this stuff. Like all this grooming shit that like you hear predators say to people when they're grooming them. Anyway. Let's see if we can do some screenshots. So yeah, trans-identifying males are a pack of filthy, paraphilic, porn-washed con artists. Don't ever forget that, women. That is what they are. They are paraphilic, porn-washed con artists. Okay? Please understand this, if nothing else. They don't care if women are hurt by this. They don't care if the little women lose some trophies. They don't care if some of us get raped. No stats, no fairness argument will ever work. Hear me. They don't care. Ask them. And as unreasonable con artist keeps like hanging out with women he claims to care and I love you, girl, and okay guys, here, okay, you guys are my friends. They don't care that we're being hurt by the ideology that they live every day. They don't care. They say, oh yeah, I use women's spaces sometimes. That's not caring. That's not caring for your friend. Like, you're not a friend if you're doing things that are predatory to your friends or to your friends' sex class, to your friends' daughters. Stop thinking these men care. They don't fucking care. Not any one of them. Okay, let's see here. What else do we got? There's no such thing as a cis person. Stop allowing idiots to change our language. Yes, please. Let's stop. Every single... Oh, this, I love this one. God, my voice is so fucked right now. Drink some more water. Every single rape and assault of an incarcerated woman by a biological male inmate is a preventable crime. Gender activists and the progressive politicians who bow down to the activists are responsible for every single assault. That is so well said. Like, I've been looking for those words for a while because people are like, oh, women get raped anyway. Who cares? Women get raped anyway. Who cares? They don't have to be raped in prison by men. There's no fucking reason for that. You don't need to incarcerate male people with female people. The 4 women raped in the women's shelter in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, 0 of those women needed to be raped. They wouldn't have been raped anyway if you didn't let a male person inside that fucking vulnerable space with those vulnerable women. You absolute degenerate assholes. And this is, I'll go back to the vulnerability. So women are already vulnerable. But let me tell you, the women who have been in abusive relationships, those are women who are extra vulnerable. Those are women who are willing to enter into abusive relationships because they are more vulnerable than other women. They are women who have been probably groomed or sexually abused or taught that they are worthless or given more vulnerabilities than just their female sex, right? So you take a space that is full of extra vulnerable women and you put a fucking man in there to grape them. Every single one of you assholes who support trans ideology, you are responsible. You put them there. You held a sign that put those fucking assholes into women's spaces, and those women got raped because of you. You did it. I said no. I tried to stop it. You said, let's do this. You said these men are women because they fucking said so. These men said that they were women, and you said, yeah, they're women because they told us that. You are responsible for these women being raped. Every single woman that is raped in a female-only space where men wouldn't have been otherwise if you didn't put them there, on you. You live with that for the rest of your fucking life. You should go and talk to those women and you should tell them, you know what? It was me. I held a sign that said that these men are women and that these men should have gone in there. I did that. I said yes. You should go tell them that. Go phone them up. Go to their house, sit down, have a coffee with them and look into their eyes and say, I said yes, just so you know. I'm sorry you got graped, but you know, you wouldn't have been graped if I didn't say yes. If we all didn't say yes to these men, you would have been ungraped. There would have been no grape. But I said yes. I held a sign. I signed a piece of paper. I marched in the streets. I typed on my computer. I went on a live and I said, trans women are women. I said yes to your grape. Anyway, let's see what else we got going on. And that's you too, Polly. You said yes. Hold on, we got somebody at the door. Dances with puppies? What's your age? Okay, can someone block them? I don't even know what kind of TV we were listening to there, but that was a good one. Wow, how smart. Why are they letting a man in there? Because we're being told that those men are women, apparently. Oh yeah, they're graping us with their dicks, but they're women. They're graping us with their woman dicks. Didn't you know? Women have dicks nowadays. Crazy, hey? Just so you know that in the United Kingdom, since the year 2000, 20, oh, sorry, I was saying 11 earlier. Canada is 11. The UK is 20 trans people have, oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, it is 11. Okay, here it is. 11 people have been murdered in the United Kingdom since 2000. All of them were killed by someone they knew. In that time, these are trans people, by the way. I meant to say trans people. 11 trans people have been unalived in the United Kingdom since 2000. All of them were killed by someone they knew. In that time frame, 20 trans people have committed homicide in the UK, including one stranger killing. There is no trans G-side. There's not even any real persecution. When it comes to homicide, trans people are the safest demographic in the Western world, and it's past time that members of that community stop pretending to be the most victim-y victims ever to be victimized. Exactly. These men are fucking coddled. Coddled beyond belief. So this is a good one too. This one says, every single male person who wants to date and have sex with lesbians is a boundary violating predator. As long as the trans community supports and protects any man who calls himself a lesbian and pursues lesbians, they are responsible for coercion and grape culture. Couldn't have said it better myself. Stop letting predators at women. Men have fetishized lesbians forever, and now you've let them at them. They're like, oh, but I'm a lesbian too. They broke through that cotton ceiling, didn't they? Fucking assholes. Ooh, the stochastic terrorist. And about that whole stochastic terrorist thing, your cult is the stochastic terrorist because the lone wolves that have acted because of your radicalization only exist in your cult. Give me one, and I'm asking for one example of any TERFs who are lone wolf killers, because that's what stochastic terrorism is. It's when people rally radicalism to the point where a person will take it on themselves to be violent and do something horrible. Well, we've got absolutely endless examples of that coming from the trans cult. Charlie Kirk, Tumblr Ridge shooting, all of the school pew-pewings. We just recently had a man say that he was going to murder all the women and girls at his school because he was mad about the treatment of trans women. There's a Redux article about it that just came out. Here, let me go get it for you. Okay, so this guy, Darren Rigby, who sent hoax death threats to schools, is jailed. All girls' schools were specifically targeted. Rigby threatened to carry out deadly attacks, supposedly in response to the treatment of trans women. None of this features in the coverage across outlets. Of course, they would never talk about trans bullshit that made the trans cult look bad. And look at like what happened in Tumblr Ridge too. Like they bent over backwards. They lied to the press's face. They were like, was he known to police? Does he have mental health disorders? Oh, the suspect is female. She is known to the police. She has mental health history. Lied right to their faces in order to protect the trans cult. Didn't say, oh, the suspect is a trans woman. No. Said she is female, covering up for the trans cult. Now, if this was something positive that this boy had done, right? Maybe he, instead of shot up the fucking school and murdered like 6 children and a teacher and his mom and his fucking brother, maybe instead he like, I don't know, invented. You bet your ass you would have heard the word trans woman then in the press conference. Instead, you just hear the word, nope, suspect is female. And then the press was like, why are you hiding the fact that this person is transgender? Oh, we're not hiding it. It's just you're the first person to ask that. Bending over backwards to protect the trans cult. All girls' schools were specifically targeted. Rigby threatened to carry out deadly Maryside police report. I'm going to kill every girl and woman staff member I come across. I'm going to shoot and stab all you girls. It's a crime of extreme misogyny. in the cause of fighting trans oppression, but any mention of trans has been erased by the police, PA, and all the news outlets. In addition, the BBC report hides the fact that it was a crime against women and girls. This is the misogyny we're dealing with, people. Under well, there you go. Because they hide it. Okay, well, that's all my screenshots for now. I'm going to go and do my shopping and rest my voice. Oh, wait, I have a few more things. I don't know why that just went to nothing. I love this one. Also, where are all the middle-aged women discovering their inner man and getting elective mastectomies and leaving their families to experience their lost boyhood whilst wanking themselves dizzy at the thrill of wearing polo jeans and polo shirts and dad jeans? He also doesn't look like he meets the social construct cluster concepts. Guys, where's all the middle-aged women who are cutting off their tits and wanking themselves to the idea of boyhood? Yeah, not so much, hey? Not so fucking much. Jesus Christ. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh, this is a good one. A daily reminder, there's such thing as a trans woman. Trans is a cult started by male perverts and enabled by groomers and grape apologists. Not a type of person. Trans women are men. For any gifts you guys give, I really appreciate it. Been on here for hours. Okay, I guess I'll just go. It's just hard to go and there's so many screenshots to do. This one's kind of a good one. I believe that's why it's scary. They're creating a whole army. Okay. I'm going to go, guys. See you in a bit.